All right. What is up, guys? TA Tech here. Welcome back to another live stream. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope you guys are all doing well. And we have here Mr. Marc Sequence. Say what's up, man.
Yo, what's up? What's
You're
up?
here with for me. You're here. What up? What up?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me yet again. TA Tech, Taylor, man. Always a pleasure. We're gonna have a good time, and let's do this.
Definitely, bro. Definitely. You're a little laggy on my
Uh
end
oh.
right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should I stay still?
I don't know what's going on. I don't know. The picture for me is a little laggy. Anybody else see that?
You know what it might be? It might be the MacBook. Also, I've noticed when I like move stuff or open tabs and browsers, it affects the internet. Like it takes extra internet.
Yeah.
So maybe I can do one. I can take the iPad off of Wi-Fi and see if cellular can handle it. You want me to do that?
Sure.
Let's see what
Yeah,
happens.
see what happens.
Let's see what happened. Am I back?
Yeah, you're good, bro. You're good now.
Is better now? Okay.
Yeah.
All
Much
right.
better now.
Woo.
Yo, what is up, chat? What's up, Miles? What's going on, bro? What's up, Jamie? How are you, man?
Yo.
Phone
Phone
tech at
tech.
work. What's up?
Thanks for
What's
popping in.
up?
Shark fin.
Hello, Shark Fin. What's up, man? What's up? How's
There's a
everybody
shark in the
doing
water.
today? Man, yeah, I don't know why you were lagging um just a little bit ago, but you're good now. Let's just see here how everything looks. Everything looks good. All right, good. Let me get out of that. So today we're going to be talking and discussing the smartwatch world and what you guys should get for the holidays. So, Marc, I'm gonna let you start off here because I know you want to show off your smartwatch and talk about that. So, go ahead, bro.
Uh, no big deal. This would be like my third or fourth Apple Watch since the Series Zero, excluding replacements for faulty devices. With that's expected with the first of any product. But yeah, I'm wearing the still wearing the gold stainless here with this last year's, so the 2020 Series 6. No really fancy. I was talking about this with TA right before the stream, that like the most useful watch face to me is one of the like the least fancy or pretty, which kind of sucks because it's like, okay, I can have, like, if I wanted to show off more, or I guess like elevate the look of it, I can swap a band out and put a different nice clean classic watch face. But then I can't see anything. I can't see the battery. I can't see weather. I can't see if there's any unread text messages, or do that one tap Shazam, or do some calculations on it's a little, that's like the only other thing that I would say about it, aside from most of the day battery life. Again, always on display is gonna some people turn it off. Sometimes I'll turn it off, sometimes I turn it on, uh, to get more of the day for battery. But I like it. I've liked it after they kind of ironed out the kinks. I skipped, like, what was it, the 1 2, went back I think for the third or fourth. I'm blanking on it because I was already, in addition to virus time, I'll say that. uh
Mm,
it seems like the last 1 or 2 years is, 3 years ago is actually 5 or 6 years ago, right? It's like, but
definitely, dude. I'm gonna
that's
tell you this. I have not worn my Apple Watch as much as I have since
lockdown.
all start. Yeah, since all this started,
I really,
dude.
I wear it
Yeah,
every day. I
yeah,
still wear when I remember. Sometimes I'll leave it on the chart and I'm like,
dude.
where's my watch? But
Yeah, man. Like I honestly, and you know what? Like I did wear it from time to time. Uh, Mostly when I would leave the house. Like if I was home, I would barely wear it. But now, I, get up in the morning, put it on, wear it for the day, and then um, put it back charging when I go to bed. I mean, because I need the constant reminder since I'm not going as much to the gym. I need that constant reminder of getting up and moving, and it's just so good, and especially for that advantage where um you don't have your phone with you and somebody messages you or calls you,
Yeah.
I pick up right here. If I have my headphones on, I can just answer it and it'll go to my headphones, stuff
Right.
like that. So um it's very useful, and especially to this day. I mean, if you want to stay healthy, a smartwatch is the way to go, because it gives you that constant reminder of, like I said, moving around, being more healthy and stuff like that. And there's a lot of apps out there that you can install. Granted, a lot of them that I've seen anyway, you need a subscription for, but there's a lot of apps out there that can remind you, to track your health, to track your eating, your exercise, this, that, the other. And I've just seen so many people now buying and I'm not just saying a Apple Watch. I'm saying a smartwatch in general, just
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they wanna get their health going back. Because again, like I said, they're not going to the gym. Um,
Right.
Now, you know, um, there's so many out there nowadays. It's honestly crazy. I'm about to show you one in just a second here. Let's see.
I wasn't sure if you got loud just then, but you got. I mean, for I asked the chat, but no one said anything. If Taylor got loud for you guys just then, I got loud. I adjusted on my end, but I don't know what that was. It seems like it was picking up
Oh wow.
a lot more and then like lowering it and then getting loud and then being lower again. I don't know if your audio switched.
Oh, I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah.
Solange Vieira, my best friend, says that it's nice to meet you and you seem like a very cool guy. Well, let me tell you, Mark is a very, very cool guy. And when I tell you that he
Thank you.
supports literally everybody in the tech community, I
Everyone.
mean everybody. He is everywhere.
Thank
Yeah, when you think he's not there, he's there.
you. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
No, I don't always chat, but if I'm really would be if I'm occupied doing something else, but I would have up to depending on how many devices I have on me, 3 of your guys' live streams going at the same time. The phone, iPad, uh, laptop, or television, depending what room I'm in, and try to at least half hear to what's going on or the highlights of the reach in there for a comment when I can, or at least to get the likes in there and say hey if I'm gonna just one and done, or if I can't be as interactive with it. But yeah, no, I appreciate that, man, too. And for your guys' tweets too. Again, check us out on Twitter. That's where the party starts and stops
Yeah.
and keeps going. I
Man,
guess after before
listen,
during streams.
yeah, exactly. You guys should if you guys have Twitter, definitely follow us. It's a lot of fun we have over there. So Roy1296, another friend of mine, that is in the chat with us today, says, I know this question does not pertain to the topic at hand, but any advice for a Samsung user that is switching to iOS? I'm getting the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Dude, I'm still mad at you for that.
For getting the 13 Pro.
Yeah, bro. I mean, in a way, like, I don't like big phones, but just because he's getting the iPhone 13 is like, damn. I already said that
The
I want one in the future. I'm kind of waiting for the iPhone 14 though. If that doesn't really surprise me, then I might get the 13 and skip the 14. But I'm waiting for the 14 because there's a lot of great rumors about it. So,
Yeah.
I'd just rather wait. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you mean so buying this year's phone next year if the
Yeah,
14 doesn't press. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Apple normally doesn't carry previous, right? They carry two, or do they have they skip it, right? Don't they skip
yeah,
uh they'll carry like the year prior or 2 years prior phone, I think, new from that you can grab. Otherwise, a carrier or a third party like, Target, Best Buy, B&H Photo, sometimes
right.
places will have extra stock of every year or every iPhone, every color, or most colors. Actually, I was looking at who was going to have sooner shipping dates or stock, hopefully of the 13, just out of window shopping curiosity. But I've noticed that some carriers and even third parties have only some configurations. They only have, some colors in 128 and 256. They don't have, everything. They don't have all four colors in all four um, storage sizes. That's kind of weird. Like it's not.
Shoot.
It wasn't on the site at all. It's not like it was there and it was grayed out or sold out. It was
Right.
these two colors and these two configurations for this phone, and I thought that was weird.
Yeah, definitely. Um, Going back to Roy 1296 here, I'm going from the S20 Ultra to iPhone, so I'm kind of nervous because I've never owned an iPhone before.
They
Well, go ahead, Mark.
depending who your carrier is, I think they offer porting, that they'll port it over, or are you planning on like starting fresh? Uh, it should be like relatively painless and easy to switch
Oh yeah,
from
there's apps out there that'll make you that'll make the process quick and easy. Um, Now, quick in the sense of if you have Wi-Fi.
Yeah, really, yeah. I
Just
would say,
remember,
yeah, exactly what Marco said. Enjoy it for what it is. Go into it having none, zero expectations, and take it all in, explore the phone, all of the native apps. When you feel comfortable enough, throw some of your own apps on there, and really get used to it. Allow yourself and the device time, so you guys can
yeah,
bond to get along. It's like adopting a pet, to see really how it is and if it feels right for you.
exactly.
Depending where you're going to get it, you'll get at least 14 days of return policy. Some places it's 30, and sometimes I think even 45, depending on, again, if you're like on a rewards program or special, you know what I mean, like Best Buy or something. They have
Right.
extended policies, or if you're getting it from, actually now we're in the extended holiday return policy right now with Apple directly. I think January 8th, right? If you at
Yeah.
least if you at least start the return by January 8th, then you can get, I think, an additional week or so to package it up and send it out back to them.
Right.
Pretty
Right.
sure.
Um. Yeah. I mean that's
That's 2 months
what
already.
what Michael is saying here. That's pretty much what I would say. Don't expect too much. Don't expect too little. It is a change. I know. But I think that, especially like I've even told you off stream, I think that if you have everything saved to the Google Cloud, you're fine because there's Google Apps out there that you can get everything back on. Now, with that being said, you cannot, and I'm not actually sure about this, but I don't think you can, um, port all your apps and stuff. I'm not really sure about that, but um, I think you would have to do that one by one. Now I know that
You
you're gonna have to
if your account's
re-sign in.
then it should be fine, right?
Really?
The account for third party apps, I think, if, like, for example, if I were to log on to, well, like everything, for example, Twitter is stored on Twitter. So if I log on a PC or an iPhone or anything like that, that's the same, right? As long as you have your same login, everything should follow over, assuming that your app is available on the App Store as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Just before you move anything, make sure you copy Otherwise, back up all your login stuff for every app that you have, because sometimes
Exactly.
not having that and trying to remember what the hell is my password or what's the username, which email did I? Oh, I mean, I have a bunch of emails, so I'm
Dude.
like, which one was after though? You do get inside, then yeah, iOS has their password manager, and that's super helpful.
Definitely. Definitely helpful. Um, so again, before we get too much off track here, and if anybody has any questions, we'll definitely answer them. Marc, I'm gonna put you in charge of the chat and let me know what people are saying, just because when I share the screen, I'm not gonna be able to look at it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna share the screen here, guys. I know too many windows, you won't see that, but you'll see this. Yes, I've been looking into a better microphone. Actually, me and my friend were looking into a better microphone for our show, just because having this one to share for two people is kind of hard sometimes. So that's why you see all these microphones over here. But let's go into smartwatches. Now, I've actually um, I've seen a lot of cool, very cheap smartwatches that look like the Apple Watch. This one, right here, for instance, for $33.22. I think that this one is really cool. I would say, and I say this because take Roy 1296 for instance. You know, 1 minute you'll have an Android, but what if you want to switch? You know, you're not necessarily going to want to switch watches. You know, so a watch that is compatible with both iOS and Android is what you're going to want to go for. And this one looks pretty cool, and I mean, it kind of looks exactly like the Apple Watch. Uh,
Yeah. Wonder
Actually,
why.
this one looks better than the Apple Watch just for the battery percentage alone over here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's not the percentage. That's the icon. Here I got
Yeah.
the. I got a bar and a percentage. What are you talking about?
So,
Let's see.
um,
Roy's asking, are we gonna get the new Series 7? I wanted to, but
me too.
I have to practice some self control, of which I have very little. And
Me
there's a
too.
few other things.
Listen,
A
don't
few other things that I would like to look into before getting any more gadgets and stuff like that. So,
don't
but it's not.
expect me to walk into a Best Buy or an Apple store without walking out with something.
Yeah, that's dangerous. That's dangerous.
That's why I don't go places.
It it's easier than ever to spend money you
Yeah,
either have or don't. Super.
exactly.
Oh, gotta stay
Um,
my off the internet.
dude, I have to, and especially during the holidays when you're getting, I get a crap ton of emails from like Best Buy of different deals and everything, and it's just
Yeah,
like, oh my god, why?
it's not just the big box stores. Carriers do that too. They're like, hey, buy one get one. Uh, it's a second Apple Watch on us, or like a big discount, or with a new line. Like there's still hoops to jump through, but it seems like
Yeah,
everyone's getting in on it here. Let me read a couple comments here. Night Karma, thanks for stopping in. Says, I have Android, but looking for a watch that supports both Android and iPhones just to be safe. I think that's going to be anything. I think anything that isn't the Apple Watch or a Samsung or like
yeah.
Galaxy branded,
I would
manufacturer.
definitely check when you're on Amazon, eBay, wherever you want to go. I know you're more of an eBay person. Um, I think that you should definitely look at the prices and as you see here, the stars. You know, see what people rate it. Look into the comments of what people are saying about it. Is it good? Is it bad? Are people having good experiences? Are people having bad experiences?
Yeah, and when
And then
when the reviews are from.
Yeah, exactly. I also like to grab the watch's name. You know, wherever you're looking at it from,
Yeah.
grab the watch's name and put that into YouTube and watch videos on it. And I'm not saying one video. I'm saying one, two, three, four. You know what I mean? You know, make sure you're watching multiple videos on it because one person can say I'm having a bad experience, while the other person can say I'm having a good one. Now, you know, see whether or you know whether the people are saying that they're having more good experience than bad. Then you know that's where you want to make your
Yeah.
decision.
And again,
Um,
how recent it was, because I would imagine that, like any smart device, they would get updates. So there's a chance
exactly.
there's a chance that an update solves some problems or cause some new ones. So
Yeah, exactly. Um, Also, I've seen a lot of really cool smartwatches like this one that actually have earbuds on them.
wow.
And there's a lot of good cheap ones that have this kind of thing where they have the earbuds. So if you're a person that doesn't want to spend money on both, then this would be an option for you. You know, there's many alternatives out there, and we'll go through that as the stream goes. But I just wanted to point that out there. I mean, I've gotten emails about that too, and it's just like, damn, you wouldn't imagine what's out there. Um, let's see here. Is
For
there
for
any?
for those
Go
of us
ahead.
that make already that decision, like, oh, I'm gonna stick with this brand or this manufacturer, or in my case, Apple, then there's gonna be nothing more compatible or optimized than the Apple Watch, obviously for iPhone. But uh,
Right.
like with that's where I find that advantage, at least for me, to where, like, do I want to get the next one of these or not, and just compare it to itself, really, like, the one that it already has, rather than this, to where there's, like, I don't know how many pages are there when you typed in smartwatch of results, like it's a lot of work, for me at least, and to get something that may not work, or may not work as well. That's
Yeah.
something that's
Exactly.
to consider. I think on the flip side of that, though, smartwatches, as opposed to cell phones, because cell phones usually get notoriously short return periods, smartwatches should have standard 30-day, pretty sure, unless otherwise noted. Obviously, read all of the fine print that you can, but I mean, specifically Amazon, I think Amazon has a really, really great customer service and return and exchange policies.
Yeah, definitely. I don't want to cut you off, but I just want to say this. If Alex, I'll tech Ricadio, if you're here in the chat, I sent you a while ago a meme, and I'm looking at this watch, and it's reminding me of that meme that I sent you. That is a meme that I had sent my friend, and you probably seen it around Twitter and stuff. But it's literally like an old iPhone 4 on a wristband, and like somebody has it as a watch. So I'm looking at this, and this thing is like huge. So
Yeah.
it just reminded me of that. It's like,
What
wow.
what's what's the size of that? Does it say 2.41-inch display? What?
Let's see here.
What? How many inches is the 44 millimeter watch? See, can someone convert that in the chat, if you guys if anyone went to math school? And also, this is did hopefully I say it right. I don't think I said your name. Solange, I said, go ahead and ask your question. Yeah, you could just type it when a question pops up.
uh,
LTech said, how
let's
many?
see.
What? Wonder how reliable those watches are, and how many reputable companies have made smartwatches. I said like 200, two
Oh
for sure,
yeah,
at least 200 reputable, in quotes, right? It's like it. I don't know. I wouldn't want to buy something that I can't take to a physical location and say, hey, this is, I'm having these issues with this. So that's one bonus of uh, buying, someone, at least for, because I think
Eh,
there's, aside from Apple stores, there's Windows stores, and then there's, like, I think maybe one Samsung store
right,
where I live, like,
right.
pretty far. At least I think pretty far. Uh, that
I mean,
that's
and
something to
that's the
consider too.
whole.
or expect to wait a long time should you have to ship your device to another state or out of the country, right? So careful.
Yeah, true. Very true. And I mean, you can go to like different stores out there. Um, dude, I still love this blue watch. I'm just saying. But you can go to different stores out there, and there's like so many options. Um, I remember a lot of people had this watch, but I don't know if it. I know a lot of people had issues with it. I'm wondering, if people actually still get this kind of watch.
Which one? Analog
The
watches?
No, the this one, the Test Gear,
Tech
the the Tech
te-
Gear. Go ahead.
Test Gear S
Yep.
smartwatch. That's a long
Yeah.
name. When did
Yeah.
that come out? It's still $300. It looks old. Is it new?
Yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
old.
Yeah. What? It's
It's
three
old.
hundred
It's old
dollars.
as heck, man.
I wonder if they still support it or how that works. So they just one and done. Here's the software that's on it. Okay, bye. Good luck.
Yeah. And that's
And then
probably what they
another
do
clone.
too.
Yeah. Here's another one. Can mix clone looking thing. I don't know, man.
That's so weird,
It
bro.
seems like I like for me. I'm reminded. I get flashbacks and I get instantly transported to the local flea market. Like when I
Yeah.
was, I haven't gone in a while, but when I would go and I'm like, okay, what? Like as a kid, you don't really notice. You don't realize, like, oh, this is cool, neat gadgets, gizmos and gadgets. And then when I actually had like gotten like my first phone, and then first, not just iPhone, but like Sidekick or LG phone, whatever that I was having, and I started recognizing and paying attention to brands and logos and all that. And then I would see, like, not that's when I started noticing that logo looks funny. Like that one's wrong. That's not the right one. I was like, what's it called? Like that's not the name. And then it's like, oh, I see what's happening here. These are all the copycat ones. Okay.
Dude, look at
I'm
this
like, no
copycat
wonder they're
Apple
so
Watch.
cheap. Yeah, it looks just like one.
I mean, even the
It just says
software
smartwatch.
looks like
It just says smartwatch.
smart.
Where's the brand? SPO2 sleep tracker. They just list all the features as the name.
Wow. The,
Answer, make, call.
okay, that's another thing. Like, how do people even know like what companies what, and why don't they do better naming? I mean, look at it. I mean,
Here,
look at all of
I
these.
think
They have
I think because
such
they don't
long
care.
names. They
I
have
think either two reasons. I think one, they don't care, or B, they want to remain like anonymous or as anonymous as possible. So
yeah.
to like good like one and done, wheel and deal. You're stuck. You're in charge of making sure your watch doesn't break or need servicing. But here we have the Solange is asking, I'm thinking of getting one, but which one would you recommend? A smartwatch or a Fitbit? I've seen a lot of people with Fitbits. That's why it's hard to decide.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
What's
Um.
what's the latest offering from Fitbit? Do they have an actual watch, or is it just like a fancier version of the fitness tracker? That's my question to you. I don't know if you know.
I I've seen stuff. You can see my screen, right? So I've seen stuff like
Yeah,
this,
from
where
Fitbit.
they have yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Night
now
Night Karma
keep
says I
in
have a
mind,
Samsung smartwatch, but I would say Fitbit if you want to switch phones.
I
So
have yeah, true. Um, I've seen them, and keep in mind, and I'm sure you're not, you don't care about these kind of things, but keep in mind that when buying that particular watch, I don't quote me on it, but I don't think you're going to be able to a answer calls and b answer messages. You might be able. I think you'll be able to see that you have an incoming call and incoming message, but you will not be able to respond to it on that watch.
okay,
Um, you
it's
know
like
what I
a
mean?
beep, or as grab your phone, something's happening.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, so then I'm on the
Um,
Fitbit site right now. I haven't paid it. I haven't seen them since like the first couple iterations of their fitness tracker. So okay, yeah, it looks like they have both fitness tracker, only, or fitness oriented trackers and
Why don't
actual
you put the link in the private chat and I'll open it up here?
uh just fitbit.com.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you want to tap? You want to be able to click it? Oh, I'll grab
Yeah.
me. Oh wait, um, I'm on the MacBook and you're on the iPad. So
Oh, okay.
let me see if I can do that. I wonder if it'll allow you to click that.
I
I'm
think it
pretty sure
would.
this should work. All right. Do I hit enter? Okay, there we go. Oh, maybe not.
Let's see. No.
Doesn't look like.
Alright, I'll
Okay.
just do it from here. It's fine.
Yeah.
Fitbit.com and
Also,
share screen
I
again.
no, I just saw your comment. No, I didn't. I didn't see when you almost fell. That's
Wait,
worth
what happened?
mentioning. That's a nice behind the scenes thing. In case you guys, for those of you that were here on time, apparently 31, 32 minutes ago, Taylor almost fell and we missed it. I missed it.
Oh, you.
Sorry, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Remember, I'm on the iPad and it's like an arm's length away, and then even smaller are the buttons, so I didn't see the little tiny red dot on the white corner of the chat box icon. That means message waiting or something. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Let's see here. So I'm going to share the screen again, and we're going to take a look at the Fitbits. So,
There we go.
so yeah, here's the one I was talking to you about. And let's see, products. So these are a bit more expensive, but they are worth it, in my opinion.
And cheaper than the regular Apple Watches, at least. What's the SE at?
I think. Well, I got the SE for Mother's Day, and it was $279. Um, I was planning to give this one to my mom, but she liked my Series 4 because it had the biggest screen. So I ended up just staying with this watch. So yeah,
The SE is based on the 4 or the 5?
yeah,
4? Okay.
the 4. So yeah, it says here, 199. It depends on what you want. Um, and what color. Let me see here.
She's asking, so would you recommend the Fitbit one instead of the watch? Well, Fitbit has um, the fitness only trackers and a smartwatch. So if you wanted to grab a smartwatch and try Fitbit, then they have that option.
Right.
You mean as opposed to like any other brand of smartwatch? Because I didn't know that they made their own like full fledged smartwatch now, but looks like they do. So you have 3 choices here.
Yeah, you have 3 choices here as far as the smartwatches go, and then like the trackers. Um, you have like, I don't know. I just saw like a couple of them. Hang on. So
Yeah,
yeah, you have
Night
like a
Karma.
couple.
Yes, he recommends Fitbit.
Yeah, I would definitely look into the smartwatches,
Yeah, I would.
Solange. Just because, yes, I know that they're expensive, but I mean, you're getting a really good deal with them. These, again, like I said, I'm not sure. I'm assuming that you will be able to see and respond to text messages. As far as phone calls go, I'm not really sure. That's the thing. Let me see Let me see the thing over here, and we can actually go through it. So this is what it looks like. Um, it comes in midnight, soft gold aluminum, black, pink. That's right down your alley. Thistle, which is like a dark purple, and then olive. Um, so I'm seeing stay on top of your goals whenever life takes you with Fitbit Versa 3, the motivating health and fitness smartwatch with daily readiness score, built-in GPS, active zone minutes, and more. So it doesn't really say here. Let's see. Let's go down. You can do all these different things with it.
Let's see. So the reason why I asked is because I'm not getting it this year. That's why I asked, so I have an idea on it. Yeah, sure, no problem. I Well, you might have to wait a while after all of the deals that they have for this holiday season. But also, I don't know. I don't keep up with Fitbit specifically, so I wouldn't know like when the next one's coming or when like they're gonna do any updates. So that's something you'd have to look into. But I would
Yeah,
imagine that like every year, this is a good time to grab up, these devices, especially if you can get. I'm sure that they offer some sort of like discount or even like financing, some sort of incentive program. I don't know, like if any. I don't know if it'd be better like to get it from Fitbit directly or wherever Fitbit is carried and kept in stock.
right. So there are, these different watches, uh, and different things that you can track with it. I mean, and you can get Google. Um, I don't want to say this because I'm afraid it's gonna hear me upstairs, but you can get that too. So there's like a lot of different options out there. If you want to spend the money for this, cool. But like I was showing you before on Amazon, there are a lot of different options for less that do basically the same thing. You know what I
Right.
mean? Um, so let's go back and see Smartwatch Alternatives. Say. So let's go into this one for example. Smartwatch compatible with Android and iPhone. Call call and message reminders, blood oxygen, blood pressure, heart rate monitor, sleep tracking, IP68 waterproof. So the IP68 waterproof basically means that it can go into water for like 30 minutes or so, maybe longer.
Yeah.
And it won't get affected.
Yeah.
So,
That price is pretty crazy. I'm suspicious of it, but buyer beware.
yeah,
$33.
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, and it has a lot to offer, it looks like.
Yeah. Oh, but
So,
blood pressure monitor? Dang.
yeah, yeah. So the screen
I,
size 1.57 inches. Go ahead, Mark.
I think that most of us, like as far as like the health features, I muted some of the features on the watch a while ago. I'm like I'm aware of how relatively unhealthy I've become in the last 18 months or
Yep,
so.
yep,
I don't need to be
exactly.
reminded. I also have reflective surfaces here around me where I can catch a glimpse of myself every now and then. So that's plenty.
Right, right, right.
Jamie said, "You get what you pay for." Absolutely, yeah. the the
Exactly,
goal is, of
bro.
course, to try to get more than what you paid for, and that's where we would. It'd be up to all of us to determine value of something. But yeah, definitely that would hold true with tech and electronics and gadget things like that. Let's see.
Yeah,
Night Karma says, "Yeah, I would look more into it before you buy one. Watch a few reviews, see if they have anything of your liking, and."
yeah,
Let's see.
exactly.
Oh, Solange wants to us. Oh, you're looking at the comments now. She wants to send a link so we can
Yeah,
give our
definitely send the
thoughts
link
on
over, and
the watch. The
we'll
watch
give
that you found.
you.
Yeah, post it right.
Yeah, if
Post
you
it
want
right
to
in the
post it right
chat.
here, or you can message me at either or. We can definitely look at it and talk about it. Let's see if shared it. No.
Also, yeah, I don't know how to pronounce your other mod. What's the other mod in the chat's first name? Yandir, or did I say that right?
Oh yeah, 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 there, girl. What's up? What's up? I didn't even notice that you were here.
saying, I don't wear watches now. I'm just thinking about getting one. Okay, so out of boredom.
I
That's how
mean,
some of our.
listen,
I mean, for me, that's how some of my purchases happen. I'm like, let me log on to my favorite, website and see what they have to buy.
exactly, bro, exactly. And I mean, this would be the perfect time to buy it too. As
Yeah,
Black Friday approaches, and Cyber Monday. Cyber Monday. Don't
right.
forget that there is Cyber Monday, and you get a lot of good deals. Now, I mean, I know people who work retail, some who are in this chat right now. Uh, I know you hate that holiday because of not being able to do stuff at work because everybody's buying online. I remember I used to work retail, and Cyber Monday was crazy. People would just go in to the site to store area, and like that area was just so packed, and the rest of the store would be empty because people just wanted to get their stuff that they had just bought online and go.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
All right, I sent it to you. Great. Let me go over here. Um, I'm looking at somebody else's chat right now. Hang on one second.
Do you guys have curbside and all that for like where they bring your online orders out to you, like at a Best
Yep,
Buy or Target,
yep.
wherever? Okay.
I'm actually, as far as I know that they did that for. I don't work retail anymore,
Well, I mean, like
but
right now, buy something and you've had that service.
yeah, I'm not really
Okay.
sure about where I worked. I worked for
Oh no,
Walmart.
no, I'm saying like when you order something, like have you ordered or selected something like Walmart, Target, or Best Buy,
Oh
curbside,
no,
or where they bring it out to you? You haven't done that?
no, I haven't.
It's kind of cool when they get your order right. It's cool.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let me see this. All right, Solange, I did get your message. Of course, I have to respond to like a dozen other. So I'm going to share this now. Let me get off of here and go back to the stream.
That's right.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just filling in the silence.
Ah, so smartwatch. Oh, what the heck? Pop Glory smartwatch with blood pressure, blood oxygen monitor, fitness tracker, heart rate monitor, full touch, Android or iOS, men, women. Yeah, I mean, let's see here.
What's the return policy? That's usually one of the first things I'd look at. How much time do I have to try this thing out and see if it really is what it says it is? Because we've all bought
Return
stuff from
pol-
Amazon.
return policy returnable until January 2022.
Oh,
January
dang!
31st, 2022.
Wow. Hey, I say go for it. It's $30, right?
Yeah, yeah. I
That's
I definitely say
almost
go
three
for
full
it.
months.
Um,
Yeah, two and a
let's
half
see.
months.
Especially if you get fitness, weather, sleep monitor, find my phone. That's a good one that I always use with my Apple Watch. I'm always
Yeah, the
misplacing
one
my phone.
ping your phone and it makes a noise. Yeah, that one.
Pop Glory. I've never heard of them. Interesting. Wireless
Pop.
communication. Da, da, da. So with this one, uh, doesn't even tell you the water resistant level or anything. Unless you go down here and it says
Yes,
it.
it does. It says right there the water resistance level is water resistant.
Very funny. Oh man, I gotta get
That's
one of those
this is
stream deck things.
you gotta read what it is because this is how they get you. You know.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Let's see
Um,
if it under life and fitness does it say that it's good for steps, calories, distance. Looks like this one would satisfy, uh, giving you that data for when you exercise.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, this one kind of looks like a neat one. This is what it looks like with the apps. You
Ew,
would
bezel.
also, yeah. Uh, that's what it would look like. You would have to get the app, of course, to go along with it. But
Yeah, even Apple Watch has an app. It's native, but it has an app.
yeah, yeah.
You used to have it separately. Here, LTEX says he never thought about getting a smartwatch, but when I thought about what if a medical emergency occurs and do I just want to text quickly or answer quickly without reaching for my phone, or if you're away from your phone, yeah, definitely, dude.
Yeah,
I-
exactly.
like specifically, again, I only know, Apple Watch, but in addition to, I believe, fall detection, they may be working on crash detection because it's the same premise, but the ability to, like SOS automatically dial or ask you. Sometimes they'll ask you, we detected this. Do you want us to call 911 or not? Or, are you okay? Or
Yeah, and
all
that's
that
what I
stuff.
like about mine. Um, you know, because it has like the fall detection and stuff. So if you were to
Yeah.
fall, it would prompt you, hey, you've taken a fall. Um, are you okay? Or do you want to call 911? If you do not respond in, I think it's like 30 seconds, then it will call for you. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's a really good thing.
And especially
Um,
if you grab one of the GPS ones, that can share your location too. So that's
right, right, exactly,
something you
exactly,
hope you never need to use, but you're gonna love it if that day comes.
exactly. I already know. I already remember you when we talked about. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, 300, man. Nice.
Thank you both for talking about it. No, no problem. And anytime you want to talk to me about these things, I'm always open.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it'll take, Series 4, right? Yeah, that's the one I think I made the jump from the 4 to the 6 last year. So
I gotta say, you know, again, when you're looking for the smartwatch, and you're indecisive about it, always ask questions. Even if you're not, um, you know, a big Twitter person, make a Twitter and ask people.
yeah,
Um, yeah,
yeah. There's a lot of resources on there. Most of like even outside of like tech creators or tech fans, then there's a lot of people that are more than willing to answer questions, give advice, and tips
right.
on a tweet because it's pretty easy to have it be seen or it's just a text and then in that moment you don't know, um, or rather it doesn't take a lot to reply to a tweet or you're scrolling and you're like, oh, I know the answer to this, or I can provide feedback here on this tweet. And that's how I've gotten to meet actually a lot of people that are also tech fans. And
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
gonna say for I should
Dude,
have saved.
I started this tech journey when I got my first Apple Watch, and like I just got into it,
Yeah,
learning about different things, and that's how you do stuff, with anything, if you want to learn about different things, if let's say like myself, tech is your passion, or you get a new piece of tech and you want to review it, you're seeing all these different channels of people reviewing it, and then you want to do it yourself, and share your experience. While a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't want to get into it because I don't know too much about it." No, don't let that stop you. I mean, I don't want to go into the rant of make your channel do whatever, but as long as you have an experience about something, talk about it. You know, and even if I've seen channels out there who are like vloggers and still make content about tech because they want to share their experience. So there's always something. Um, all right, so mom says, all right, I'm heading out. Thank you for inviting me to your live. It was nice meeting you and talking to you, Marc. Hope to see you again soon. Hopefully next time I can join and meet you. All right. Thank you, Solange.
Yeah, that'd be
Really
cool.
appreciate it. And yeah,
Okay.
I honestly, I honestly like to have people who are not tech people, or people who don't care as much, come and talk about what they think, ask
Yeah,
questions,
get
things
their
like
take on.
that. Engage in conversation.
Yeah, to get their view on things too, outside of like someone who's already been into tech for like as long as we have, or as into it as we are. I was gonna say LTech for the when I had the 4 and I jumped, I grabbed the 4 right before the 5, and then waited the 1 year, and I'm like, okay, I'll grab the 6 this time, but I shouldn't have, because this is basically just like the more polished version of the same phone, the 4, right? And so, but even
Right.
with that, as of last month or whenever the 7 was announced, I probably, even though I was really excited to see if the renders were right on that flat, the leak and rumors, obviously,
Right.
they're never, it's never confirmed until the company confirms it. But as far as like entertainment, or like to kind of get an idea of like what could happen, or to see, I like that, so I follow on that. Even though I was a little let down that didn't happen, we may get it soon. Like, either way, this year the faster charging and the larger screen is what kind of piqued my interest for it. And I'm like, well,
Dude,
I
exactly.
I don't know if I want to be turned into one of those watch every year, iPhone every year, upgrade every year people. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to crunch some numbers, or find a way to get more numbers, right, to be able to get all the latest and greatest every time it drops. But not this time.
Let's see. One of these days, TA. Dude, honestly, like I said, I mean, if you don't want to go for, I know you have the Samsung um, phone and watch right now, but like I said, there's always options out there. Do your homework on them. Make sure you know what you're getting into, and look into people's experiences before you do it yourself. Because even like Mark said, you can be walking into a death trap, and it'll be over for you. You waste your money, and then you have to return it back. And sometimes you won't even be able to return it back. You know what I mean? So always do your homework before you get it.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. We have a few
Um,
comments here.
let's see. I'm planning on getting a pad for my drawing. What do you think is the best for a pad for drawing? iPad.
Yeah,
um,
Apple Pen.
yeah, iPad and Apple Pencil. If you can afford it, I would definitely
Yeah,
go for
or
it.
um, I think even carriers offer financing on that too. So you may be able to get either carrier financing, or also I recommend Best Buy and their credit card. Other people don't, but I'm not other people, so I have it. You know, I have that option. I think I forget what their financing usually is pretty good. I think it varies on like how much you're spending in each of the purchases, but
Hmm.
you probably get maybe like 6 months or something like that. Same,
Yeah,
no interest for at least 6 months or something like that. Sometimes a year, depending on, again, the total of your basket, which I'm sure you can qualify for if you're getting a tablet and the pencil and um, Magic Keyboard or a Folio from them too in the same purchase.
exactly. All right. Night Karma says, I'm going to head out. The stream was looking fun. Nice to meet you, Mark. Keep up with the good work, gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Night Karma.
Secretary says, before I got to watch, just thinking which company should I go to. So I went with Apple. Now it's like I should wait for the next Apple Watch. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Exactly. Um, you know, obviously the company, obviously the smartwatches from the companies that you have are a lot better. Yes, they're expensive as heck, but they're gonna work a lot better with the smartwatch because the apps that they have for these watches are native to the specific smartphones.
Mhm.
But like I said, there are pretty cool third parties out there that have apps that work just as well. Like I said, just do your homework and see which one is the right for you. Again, like I said, make sure that it can work with either or, because I mean, take Roy1296 for instance. He never thought he was going to get an iPhone, and all of a sudden he did. So make sure that you get one that's going to work with both. That way you don't have to, go back and be like, okay, well, now I have to sell my watch because I'm selling my phone. Yo, what's up, Miles? What's up, man?
You're saying hi to
Wait,
us again? Did you say hi to us earlier? Did we not
yeah, I
say hi?
thought so. I thought
You said hi to
so.
Miles. Yeah. What's
Yeah,
going
he
on?
uh
Yeah. Okay.
he comes back and forth, so
I didn't
it's
skip
all
you.
good. No,
Okay.
you did.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you did. Let me just see here. I got so many chats on Facebook popping in. It's like, Jesus Christ, Facebook. Um, Let me just
Yeah. As far
close
as
that.
LTech for the next Apple Watch, I'm hoping that they can get that squared off design. So I still feel like that was like it seems more like a possibility.
Yeah,
Who's to say really whether it was supposed to be for this year? But I would imagine like a lot of leaks and rumors and reports in the past. Sometimes it's not so much like the product, but like the time that they might be off by a year. So I think uh, like even right now, like how we got the supposed 14, right? iPhone 14 1 year
yeah,
early, that may be 2 years out. That might be actually the 15 or the 2023 iPhone instead of the 2022 one, and then maybe the squared off edges again in 1 year rather than this year, like how they say the estimates. Oh, it's going to be the next one. It's the next one. Sometimes they jump the gun on like when we're going to be getting these leaked room designs and stuff like that. So I think maybe we're a
exactly.
year away from a squared off redesign or like facelift or tweak, and
Yeah,
then the 14 might turn out to be the 15. Hopefully, if we don't see it by then you know it might have just been canned or what have you. But um, it's good to kind of be thrown off and like to actually be surprised by not having expectations. Like that's you can't really beat that, but you know
exactly, dude.
for us being curious, we're like, oh, maybe if it is true, then I can see it now and get all the information and specs and all that early. But just careful.
Exactly. I really wanted that squared off design with the Apple Watch, but like you said, it's not ready. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I think they were off by a year. Even whether they wanted to do it or not, hopefully they are able to have it ready by what 10 months from now, right? Is that the next
Yeah.
September event?
Yep. Yep.
September or October? Wow, yeah, like 10 months or so, almost exactly, because it'll be probably the second or third week of September.
Right.
So,
Right. Um. Yeah. I mean, honestly, like every year, and people say it. Every year that they're coming out with all these different technologies and stuff, but it's like and I honestly start wondering, like, is is it going to stop at any time where they just say, okay, well, I don't have any ideas this year. We're gonna skip a year and go. You know what I mean? Like,
like not release something.
yeah,
Um, well, what I like. Whoops. Okay, that was like what I would think is like you can, instead of like new features, if there aren't any or there are not any that are like easy to do. Again, I'm not an engineer. I don't know. I would imagine there's difficulty there, and then R&D and time, cost, and all that to develop it. But
right, right,
the things that usually people care about the most would be battery life. Get me a bigger battery or more optimization to get more out of the same battery. Brighter displays, bigger displays are usually pretty solid things to go for that would make not just techies, but regular people that like that's what I would care about. Like, is it going to last me longer? Is it at least a larger screen or a larger screen option? or a higher quality of screen, or at least something that's brighter for when the very little time that I spend outside of my house. Even I think the iPhone 13 got a brighter screen, but like even with the 12 Pro Max, I'm like, I can't see this thing all the time, fully brightness, full brightness. But some
Mm-hmm.
something like that is I think even without new features, I mean, you figure most of the features that are on like the watch specifically, again, going back to I have the last year's, which is the Series 6, most of those features are like novelty or for informational purposes only. They don't, for I would imagine, legal reasons, and there's no diagnosis. It's like check your, ask your doctor or check with your physician. Um, Maybe heart rate monitoring, but that's automatic. That's constantly. The oxygen or an ECG. I don't really ever run. I've used it in the past just to check it out, and probably haven't like really used them since. But as long as um, like I can get more out of the battery, and if you change like the screen size, or yeah, really it would be aesthetics. I mean, that's why I think a lot of people were excited for when the 12 got that redesigned the squared off edges, and then we heard that the watch was maybe going to have it too, and like, oh, that'd be neat. It's something new for the sake of being new, and normal everyday people, that's how do I know it's that doesn't look new, and it's like, okay, that does look new. Now maybe I'm gonna reconsider it, even if I have last year's. And
Right.
I've joked about it in the past, but even like me, where I got like I'm into that stuff, but I don't care enough to like not do something if I want to do something, because for the sake of like, oh, what's the new, like I've joked about it before, like, oh, what's the new color this year, right? Because even like how they say, oh, the cameras are better. It's like, well, other than point and shoot, I know that the maybe even like the 10, the iPhone 10 or 10s or 11 can do more and take better pictures than I can take or care to take. Because with me, it's just, oh, this, let me get my phone. I want to take a snap a picture of this real fast, send it to somebody, or something quick like that, not to worry about the quality of it. But so point and shoot is probably the most that I would want or need, and then the longest battery, and then I've always gone big screen. So if they can just keep doing that, and then new colors or finishes, I think as aesthetics, you can get the new version of a watch or the new version of a phone with very little, if any at all, features or implementation of like hardware or anything like that. Like, I don't think that they would run into any problems. Almost everything that has been out, and the reason I think for those of us that are into it, that it seems iterative year over year over year. It's like, well, we would it's only natural that technology would plateau.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
not taking into account the M1 and what they're doing with their MacBooks, that's separate, but
Right.
what they've done in the past, I mean, you remember when, because Apple Silicon is nothing new. They've been using them for their smaller devices basically forever. That
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, that we remember, like when the iPhone started leaving the competition, as far as performance year over year, and then with the S versions and that, yeah, we hit it a while ago. We hit it early. I mean, there's almost everything as of the last 5 years is good enough. I think so. From what is that,
Oh yeah.
2016 to now, maybe 17 to now, since we're almost in 22. So for things to stand out and to get sales, obviously the tech community makes up a small percentage of like people who regularly buy these devices, year over year or every other year. They're like, well, what's new about it? Does it look new, or is there a new color? Is it bigger this year? Or, as long as they keep doing that, I think they'll be fine.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Um all right, I just got the message that our guest is coming in just a few minutes, so
Oh yeah.
that's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Let's see. Have we kept up with the chat? Yeah, we have. Now let's talk. I know we've talked a lot about the Apple Watch and stuff, but what do you think of the Samsung watches and um, Google Watch when that comes out? What is
The pic
the
is that
the Pixel Watch?
That's what it's going to be called, right? Pixel Watch. Is that the
Yeah,
first? Is that the first watch that they've made or
yeah.
gonna make?
That's gonna be the first watch. Yeah.
If it looks anything like the renders, which there's a good chance it does, because Pronathan Josser of Backpage Tech, he nailed it. he nailed it. I mean,
Yeah.
even and I think even from those renders where I was like, oh man, like normally he talks about Apple, but when he
Yeah.
brings up Android, and I'm like, well, I like him anyway. I like the show anyway. I watch it, and I'm like, oh damn, they look good. I'm like, that's Android. And it's like, dude,
Uh-huh.
I looked it up. I found my old. Let me see if I can, or if you want to share your screen again, um, LG 670S, the LG Optimus S, I think, was my first and last and only Android. So, uh,
LG, what's it called?
LG Optimus S, just like Optimus Prime, a gray one. I found out
Okay.
they had purple, but after the fact, I was like, oh, I already bought this, boring gray one. I'm like, oh, purple would have been cool just to be different. Um, and
Images.
I had it for, man, I want to say over a year, almost 2 years probably, before I was like, oh dang, the iPhone 4 is like $49 with a 2-year agreement with like this third party Sprint authorized reseller. So I did that, and then I hadn't noticed that the battery had swollen on me on the Optimus, the LG, but it didn't. I don't think it affected anything. It
Is
flexed
that
because it
it?
had. That's the one. That was my first, last, and only Android phone, man.
Damn.
And it was tight. Again, I told you I've had it for like almost the full length of that contract that I had, the 2 years for it, and I had the Nexus, I believe, wallpapers for it. So the ones where it's that grid, and you see the
Right.
red, blue, and yellow. They jump from top to bottom and from side to side.
Yep. Yep.
That's pretty neat. But that's, to me, that and Androids of that era.
What?
Aside from, like, I really liked how the G1 looked, and I believe was there an H something, HTC, the Evo, and I think the Hero, and a few other ones. I'm like, oh, these look nice. But I was already into, when I first saw and got my hands on an iPhone. I was like, wow, this is like, it feels, there's some heft to it. It's actually really, really nice. Like, I had gotten the white one, so the white iPhone 4, and basically it was like a glorified iPod to me, because music is really important to me. So I'm like, oh heck yeah! Like, if I'm gonna buy an iPod, and I had, I think, the Touch before, I was like,
Yeah.
why not combine my phone, and my iPod? So instead of buying a phone and an iPod next time, like when it's time to upgrade, I'm like, just buy the phone with the iPod built in. And so I had, fallen in love with their aesthetics, the design, the like that whole, like, how, like, their philosophy, I guess, and all that. And I thought it was also really neat. Again, being a, young and dumb teenager at the time, still in high school, and I wasn't really paying attention too much to like companies and all that. I hadn't figured I hadn't realized how close Apple and Cupertino, like their headquarters, was, and I'm like, oh damn, like they're from like super close. Like, what? Like, really? Like, that's kind of neat. And saw Apple documentaries and videos and stuff on it, and really, that's the rest is history. I haven't had a non iPhone since. What
Wow.
is that
Yeah.
already? When did the iPhone 4 come out? Do you remember? Or rather, when was the iPhone 4 $49 with a 2-year contract?
Right.
Because that's when I was like, oh,
We
I can afford that.
we got here our second
Like
guest of the night, Technoid. What's up?
the beta. Hey,
Ah, what up?
oh yo,
Yeah, what up? I am so sorry I'm late tonight. I just got out of work. It was a little hectic getting home, but I got home safe. I ran upstairs. I didn't even get a chance to see my dog, my family. I just ran upstairs, turned on my studio lights, and then I'm just like, "Yep, let's do it." And yeah, I didn't even get a proper chance to fully, but I ran up here. I tried to get on as soon as I could. And also, by the way, I know one of your subscribers doesn't like my pink room. Don't worry, we're moving out of here. The pink room will be gone, but don't worry about
we could trade, man.
Hey,
It'll
listen, man. No
match my
judging
microphone.
here. No
it.
judging here.
Yeah, we don't
Oh
judge here.
yeah. Now I was watching a little bit as I was leaving work, so I heard you guys talk. I missed the whole discussion with the smartwatches, so sorry I couldn't be able to help out with that. And also, it's good to see you, Mark. I didn't think we'd meet again. I mean, I know we
Good
were
to
on
see you too, man.
Latrell. It's good to have you
Glad
on.
that,
It's good.
yeah, right. You're everywhere.
Yeah, let's see Wakanda forever.
Hey,
Anyway, so what are we talking about? What's going on?
no, man, we're just talking about different smartwatches over here, and I was showing in the beginning of the stream the alternatives that are out there.
Skip the alternative.
If people don't want to buy, all these expensive smartwatches out there, there are a lot of alternatives out there that you can get. And and we were talking about how, like, you gotta make sure you know what you're talking about, and what you're gonna get into when it comes to the smartwatch.
That's actually very good. I guess I'll do this quick because I know you guys were talking about it for a little bit, so I'll give where I stand. So for me personally, I always get tired of hearing people saying that, oh, I want a budget, I want a budget, I want a budget, because there are some people that can afford the product, but they just choose to sell themselves short of the experience. And sometimes that works out and sometimes it doesn't. I learned that the hard way. And, it happened to me when I was young, but I was only 16 when this happened to me. So I learned since then. So I always tell everyone, if you have the money, don't sell yourself short of the experience. Go for the good stuff.
Yeah.
Because if your goal is to just only have let's say between whatever watches are out there, sometimes it's better to go the premium route, or at least a mid level of the premium, versus going with the bare minimum.
Yeah.
So when we talk smartwatches, I always encourage everyone to go with either two companies. And I'm actually going to open up a little more tonight. I'll diversify after these two companies, but I think you guys know where I'm going: Apple and Samsung.
Right.
It makes sense to go with them. But
Definitely.
I will tell you, there are other players out there that sell a great smartwatch, and one of them being Fitbit. A lot of people don't give Fitbit a lot of respect. I got to give Fitbit a lot.
We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, that's one of them. I'm sorry. Another one, I remember, it was a while back. I don't even know if they're still around.
The only one I can think of is Garmin. Doesn't Garmin?
Garmin, yeah, Garmin. There was one more. It runs on Wear OS. It was made by a professional. Oh, the name's coming to me. The name's Fossil.
Here we
there
go.
you go.
Fossil. Oh yeah.
Fossil makes a really good Android smartwatch, and does have some good premium build quality. So I usually tell everyone, if you're not too crazy on the ecosystem, but you want to get yourself a really good smartwatch, Fossil's a really good way to go, because, I mean, sure, you are going to be limited in some areas, but I've seen iOS users, I have seen people that have been able to use a Fossil smartwatch with an iOS device. So exactly. I push Fossil a lot as well.
One thing that I just thought about, and I didn't say it before, when you get a smartwatch, say Apple, Samsung, whatever, you have the option of adding LTE or data. That way you don't have to have your phone with you. Yes, that can cost more, but that is an option. I know there's probably a couple people who would ask me that, so I just wanted to put that out there. But one thing is, I think that it would be better to get one of the models that you just use with your phone. I think a lot of people would probably do that rather than get the one with data. I got the one with data, and I mean, I liked it. If I forgot my phone, I had my watch. It is kind of annoying because depending on what watch you have too, the speaker to hear out of is a little lower. So
well, one of the oh, sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, you bring up a fair point. It's probably also better, like you said, to go with whatever works best with your phone, especially if you're an Apple user. It doesn't make any sense to try to go over. But I've seen, people I've seen them actually manage to make the transition. My uncle being one of them. He's a heavy iOS user, but he went and switched over to the Fossil Gen 3. I gave him the Gen 3 smartwatch, and he told me all the time, like, I use that more than I use my Apple Watch, because I just like the professional look of it. Yeah. I just think, for me, and I know you guys, I know Apple is very, very notorious with the square design. Right. But I got to tell you guys, I have never been a fan of the square design. I have never ever liked it. I've always liked
All right,
around
Technoid, it
circle.
was good having you.
Oh
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. My
Sorry
channel's
you
about to get shut
can't
down.
stay.
My channel's
No,
about to get shut down. But listen, I'm not lying here. I mean, listen.
that's okay. I know it's your preference, yeah,
Yeah, and look,
but your
look.
preference
There's
is wrong.
nothing. Oh, it's wrong. Now tell me why I'm wrong. You Stephen A now? Come on,
You
let's
know, I
hear it.
wanted actually, I was really looking forward to that redesign, but we didn't get it. So
Well, here's the thing. Let me explain. Let me clarify why. For starters, I've always been accustomed to a circular watch. I don't mind it anymore, being that I've used it for the last several years, the Apple Watch. Plus, I used the Galaxy Watch Active 2 when I was on Samsung. But I noticed that I really appreciated Samsung's sleekness with the circular design. And I always liked how it could blend in professionally, but also can be a smartwatch at the same time. Whereas the Apple Watch, I mean, obviously, when you look at it, it's going to look like an Apple Watch. You're always going to
yeah,
distinguish it.
that's on purpose for sure.
But for me, at least until the redesign came, before the redesign with the Series 7, are we on 7?
Yeah.
Yeah. Before Series 7, I said to myself, I just wish Apple would go circle. I wish they would go with a circular design. But then when the Series 7 came out and they finally utilized the whole watch screen,
Yeah.
then I turned around and said, you know what? I think I might actually be able to get on board with that because at least they're using the whole screen instead of
finally.
making a. So I do think the Series 7 has a better design, but I just, like I said, I just don't like the squareness of it. I know why Apple's been doing it because it works. I would have probably liked that flatter design, like the square design. Like maybe that's what needs to happen. Maybe that redesign where it's more like the iPhone. Maybe then it'll probably be maybe that's what I'm thinking. But as it stands, I'm still not the biggest fan of the design, but I do like the Series 7's look versus what we've seen in the past. So I will say that much.
Yeah, definitely.
They'll get your pitchforks and they'll get your flamethrowers before I start going downhill now.
Yeah, I know. I just told him that to where like, although I was bummed, and I'm sure a lot of other people were bummed that we didn't get that redesign, just that larger screen, and not more battery life, but you could charge it faster. So like you're charging less. That's it's an okay trade off. I could live with that. And I'm like, dude, a bigger screen, heck yeah! Like that was one of the only reason really where when the 6 Plus came out, I'm like, oh, bigger phone? Are you kidding me? For my content, for my games, whatever, sure, that's what I'm gonna want. So I always would get the bigger form factor whenever possible. And as far as I think if I remember a report correctly, the squared off design, how people were saying like, oh, it'll dig into you probably, and they're saying don't think iPhone 12 like that thickness. Think 2020 iPad Pro, like specifically. I have the 12.S. Think that, but for those of us who already know and have an Apple Watch, you know how like it has that like bulb for sensors, like that little round part on the bottom there. That's also going to be in between you and the sharper square edges of the watch. So it's not really be digging into you per se or as much. So, and I think Apple being Apple, that they're well aware of this needs to be comfortable. Otherwise, no one's going to wear it. No one's going to use it. So, but like imagine, and I looked at my iPad when I read that part, when I heard about that thing, and I was like, oh, dang, like that's thin. I know iPads got thicker this year, but the Pros, but I have the 2020 and I'm like, oh, wow. Like, and I held it up next to the watch and I'm like,
yeah,
dang, that would obviously with way less smaller bezels. And I was like, that looks very interesting.
Very, very. You're absolutely right on that. And one of the things with me though, like that I've always talked about with the Apple Watch, and one of the things that I've always appreciated is that they were always able to make a nice premium watch, but I don't know why. It's just that like I feel like I rather have a Samsung Galaxy Watch design than what they're doing, because again, it goes back to really what I was saying with the whole, like the design of the watch. Like, I know it's all about aesthetics now at Apple. It's no longer about innovating in design. It's all about brand recognition. But if you're going to at least do brand recognition, at least keep it consistent and give us something new. like the redesign that everybody wanted. I can live with this design. I don't really care,
The
but
7, you mean, right? The facelift.
yeah, the
I call
facelift.
it
It
a
just
facelift. I don't think that's a deep
yeah,
design.
facelift. I think you're right. So for me,
It looks good. I like it too.
I think it's all right. I think it's
I
pretty
think
good.
again, you came in right after we were done with that, but like regular folk where they're like does it look new? Is it at least in new colors? Is the battery better, or is the screen bigger? Like just those, that's as much thought that they put into it, and then on to the next one. Like that's it.
Mhm.
Where I used to joke all the time, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait for the next iPhone. I want to see what the new color is gonna be, right? Like that
Yeah.
joke of it's the same as last year, or it's iterative, or it's like, well, yeah, of course it's gonna seem like such a small step because we're huge fans of it, and as techies, I think we're greedy, and
Yeah.
majority of us don't understand, or don't care to know R&D and like what's possible. And like I just know what I would want, what would be cool, or be sick if they did this. Give me what I want, right? Like so
Yeah.
that other part of it too, where it's like, okay, new colors, and even if they're unable, hey, he's back. Even if they're unable to be consistent in the aesthetics, like the form factors or the physical, shapes and designs of these products across the board, then they should at least give us the same color options in
Yeah.
or complementary colors within a product set. Like say, for sure they're never going to change the white, of the AirPods, but like AirPods Max or the colorful iMacs that we got those this year, or the colors that the iPad Air comes in, or the iPad Mini. It's like, why are these all like different?
Not even that. Another thing that I notice is that, like, more people that have color options, the more sales they get driven. Like, if you look at, if you, what is this? If you look at, well, if there's anything, yeah. If you look at the AirPods Max, and I have them, I don't have them with me right now. I'm using my Pros,
What
but
color?
the sky blue. If you
Oh
look
yeah,
at the color
the best
option,
color.
everybody jumped. They went right for it because it wasn't black and white. Look at the
Yeah,
HomePod Minis. They've all come
the
out with new
blue
color
one's sold
options.
out. Yeah,
The
gone.
blue one, yeah, the blue soul, everything. So if Apple were to like change the AirPod colors, I think honestly it'd be a really good selling for, like, more color option, like black, white, blue, red,
Product
product
red.
red.
Yeah.
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 And for me,
And charity. Come on.
yeah, charity. There you go. Yeah. So, like I said, look, I don't complain. I don't get really crazy about Apple watches or, like, colors, but I will tell you, when it comes to people wanting a more style look, making more color options is not a bad thing. And I don't know why they've been hesitant for the AirPods for so long to just give like new options. I don't know why they just either they don't want to do it, or maybe they're working on
Brand.
something that we don't know.
You for the most part, I mean, maybe not so much now because there's so many other, clones, copycats, third party, whatever you want to call them. There's so many now that sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm not 100% that's Apple. But you remember when they first came out, or rather when they were first adopted, and even before they went cordless, when they still had the earpods, those are, you're like, that's Apple. That guy's got an iPod or an iPhone, and that's really cool. I can't wait for me to eventually get one for myself because it looks like a great device and a lot of fun, and like it's cool. They have like that cool factor, and you do get quality, at least build quality. Sometimes soft. I mean, again, we're not talking about laptops, but like I remember, I skipped it, but like the butterfly keyboard or whatever, like the problems were like physical. Usually, everything else is software. So it's like, oh, if it doesn't work all the time, or this or that and the other. That can be fixed with updates, but usually for the most part, you're getting solid. So yeah, you're paying for the brand. What does the brand mean? The brand means this is made with quality, and that support is just a phone call, text, email, 5, 10, 20-minute drive away, depending how close you are to a Genius Bar or what have you. But
can I ask one question, just one tiny question? Because when we're talking quality, we're talking about quality. We're talking about things. But here's the thing with Apple that I need to ask: at what point do you start to go back on your word. And let me explain what I mean by that. Because, I know Apple likes to make themselves distinguish by, differentiating the products. And I know recently, and I've been a big covering of this on my channel, where they separated from Beats, or at least letting Beats do their own thing.
Right.
You make a big fuss about it because if you go into the Apple store, Beats are now in the back of the store. They're
Yeah.
no longer in the front.
Yeah.
Now AirPods are all in the front. And all of a sudden, just when, it looks like Beats, now that you got this standing that Beats is going to be their own thing. Their first earbuds, the Beats Studio Buds, I tried them out. I enjoyed them. I thought they were cool. And I said, this is a good way for Beats. Like, this is exactly what they needed to do. They still offer the Apple ecosystem experience, but, it's more compatible with other companies. So I said to myself, you know what? This might actually be a good thing. But then literally like a few months after they dropped the Beats Fit Pro, which are basically just ear tip versions of the Beats Studio Buds. Then you put the H1 chip, gyroscopes, other things, and then the thing that baffles me is when they dropped this headphone, they discontinued the EPs, the Power Beats, the affordable Power Beats,
Yeah.
and then the one that truly threw me off the hinges, that made me go, what are they doing? They discontinued the Solo Pros in favor of the Solo 3s, and the Studio 3s have never received an update, and they're still the 2016 versions of the Studio 3s or 2017 versions. Then I gotta ask the question, Apple, what are you doing with Beats? Are you gonna let them do their own thing, or are you just gonna still have a continued hand in all their products? Because you basically, like, I can understand the EPs getting nixed if they want to go all wireless. I could accept that. But you drop the Power Beats, the wired Power Beats that were not even that old. They weren't even a year old, I think. They were just about to be a year old. The Solo Pros are 2 years old, but they were selling well. But then all of a sudden you go back to outdated hardware, micro USB, the W1 chip, when you're on the H1 chip. Like, I'm sorry, I don't understand, this whole argument of Apple quality control. How does nixing the most popular products, or at least the more newer products, in favor of older products? I'm sorry, I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. And then people still come to me and say, oh, but they're selling well, they're this and that. But then I go to myself, I'm like, but wait a minute. Apple's giving these headphones away for practically free. When every time they do, they do something like student discount. So why are you nixing headphones, or at least current models, over previous models? It doesn't add up to me.
To spread the love, to spread the sales. I mean, Apple has admitted that they don't care if one product cannibalizes another, so long as they're the ones doing the cannibalizing. So,
but
I
that
guess
should
it's
be Beats' call. That should have
it's a
been Beats making the decision, not Apple, because that's an Apple thing they do. Because Apple will nix products that don't sell, but you can't tell me the Solo Pros weren't selling well. They were everywhere. Everybody had them. They said those were like the return to classic Beats. The build quality was better. It was $299, but they were regularly discounted at $199. Why didn't you just? Because you guys know Beats headphones are made for like the price of a ham sandwich. So why wouldn't you just discontinue the Solo 3s and lower the price to $199 for the Solo Pros, or $249? Because for them to have the audacity to still sell the Studio 3s at $350 that's a joke. You cannot tell me anything. I'd rather pay $550 for the AirPods Max than pay $350 for a 4-year-old pair of headphones. I'm sorry, but I don't get what Apple did.
Makes more sense.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's probably why they haven't updated it, because they got their headphones. So that's why I'm saying, like, Apple, this whole argument with quality control, the first thing they need to do is stop having a hand in Beats. Let Beats be eco-friendly to both sides and let them do their own thing. Because I'm not going to lie to you, I was thinking of picking up a pair of the Solo Pros. I know somebody that's selling them, and honestly, I love them. I had them. I enjoyed them. I thought the sound quality was great, but I got, other things. So I don't necessarily need to, I don't need to pick them up anymore. I got that the Q35s, Anchor Soundcore Q35. So I
Okay.
don't.
Wait, that's not the one I have right here, right? That's a different one.
No, that's the Q10s.
Okay.
Yeah, again, apparently
They surprised
audiophile
me. I
headphones.
was like 40 bucks for that. I'm like, I have I keep forgetting to send them in. I have to send them in like one ear cup is cutting out, but I you know,
Yeah, I gotta
Man,
get mine
but
fixed up.
they sound great. I'm like, wow, I've been
I'll
crazy
be honest with you, I
crazy.
hated them. I think I told you I've hated them, but I'm willing to give them another chance because, well, actually, they don't even sell them anymore. They don't sell the Q10s anymore.
Amazon probably does. I think the
Okay,
Amazon.
Amazon. All right,
Yeah,
because on
yeah.
their official website they discontinued selling
Well,
it. They
because that's
now sell
isn't Anchor, right?
Soundcore.
Anchor,
Yeah, Anchor
Soundcore.
Soundcore.
Yeah, it's Anchor and Amazon are butt buddies basically. The thing about okay, so obviously Apple is the boss of Beats, right? And they've clearly flexed that like we're not going to do this, not going to do that because they care more about Apple than they would care
Right.
about Beats, right? And of
Mhm.
course, like, why wouldn't they? So we're seeing here now exactly what you've described. None of that is an accident. It's all meticulous. It's all intentional. It was all planned on purpose to
Mhm.
keep Apple's products supreme, or at least perceptibly supreme and better. In that, whether you call it a cash grab or they're like getting rid of like old stock of parts in a new package, like, well, yeah, I mean, let's not forget these guys are not. They work with a charity sometimes. They're not a charity. They're a for-profit business,
They're a
and
for profit. Yeah.
we know
Mhm.
business and capitalism here. It's cutthroat. So that
Oh yeah, yeah.
they don't have to play nice, and it sometimes sucks when they don't, and they have every right to do so, even with more so with something that they're the supreme rulers of,
Mhm.
i.e., B. So, but it does suck to where you being someone I've only ever had, and I don't even think I bought them from Apple directly or from Beats directly. I think I got them. They were like $160 the solo on ears from
Yeah,
Best Buy a
solos.
long time ago for $80 off, so half off. So I paid like $80 for, and I used to that was my first like DJ headphone, and
Mhm.
someone told me later on like, oh, you don't want to use those for reference because they're boosted. So in your head you're thinking the bass sounds good and everything else, but really when you take them off or through the speakers, because this is boosting the bass, you could use some bass in your mix. And okay,
Yeah.
I don't want to have a this. There's nothing worse than a party with no bass or a
No,
DJ
yeah, yeah,
no bass.
yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
like,
You're
okay,
absolutely
I
yeah.
can't. They're not DJ headphones. I can't use them anymore. But yeah, for someone like how you're more open to that to see. Well, what else you got? Like, yeah, I'm staying with Apple, but let me check out the Beats brand and you found something that you did like, and seemingly a bunch of other people like that. The nature of capitalism that sucks, man. But
Hey,
sorry about
listen,
that.
it's all right. Hey, listen, I don't get no offended because honestly, like look, I'm still debating if I'm gonna even pick them back up because I could get them for like 170. The Solo Pros are like 170. So
Oh, wow.
like that's not
Aftermarket or third party?
aftermarket. Like on
Okay.
QVC, places. QVC currently sells them for like 179. So like
Oh, damn.
I would pick them up, but it really depends because I already got a lot of headphones. And I won't lie to you, the only reason I would pick them up is not just because Apple discontinued them, but because for me anyway, the Solo Pros had the H1 chip. So, that H1 chip enables a lot more power in headphones, and the sound quality was neutral. So, and I don't know, maybe it's just me, but like the Q35s are good. I like them. I think they're better than the Solo Pros, but the Solo Pros have a
Mhm.
more neutral sound versus like the bass sound of what Soundcore is known for, their signature bass. But I will say that I do not dislike Soundcore. I love their brand. I've always been a big fan of Soundcore. I've always used all their products. I was with them since the beginning, like the Liberty Airs, the Air 2s, and I did look at the Q10s. I didn't like them, but I didn't. I mean, listen, I hated them in the beginning, but as I've come back to them, I've realized that maybe I was a little too harsh the first time around. So all I'm gonna say is like, because I don't want to keep going on and on about Beats, but I'll let you guys decide if you think I should pick up the Solo Pros because I got a lot of headphones, so I don't want to kind of liquidate myself with a lot. But
Yeah,
I'll
definitely.
say this: like when I was in high school, it's only a few years ago. Beats was like my go-to for everything because I was a high school culture. That's like culture high school right there.
Oh
Like you're
yeah.
in high
Oh yeah.
school. I was a kid, so everybody used people always say like, back then, listen, you know, I was like
Hey,
that. Hey.
we got a question here. What do we think about the new iPhone? Well, I can only go off of looks.
Damn, he hostile too. Oh, shut up and talk to me. Damn, relax, boy. We'll get
I
there.
thought people should see. I was like, no, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna no
Nah.
censorship. Let's let everyone express themselves. But
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so we'll do both. We'll do that and then your thing. So
Yeah,
I
go ahead.
haven't-
Go iPhone.
like I said, the Solo 2 or 3, whatever the ones that I had, I liked them, but my information's old, so I wouldn't be able to tell you what to do with that. As far as the iPhone 13, I really want to get one, but I have to have self-control and not do it. I got the 12 Pro Max, but I want to see what ProMotion looks like on such a small screen. I don't really, I can't say whether I notice it on the iPad. The bigger battery and like the new colors, which is basically Pacific Blue Light. You know, that's you can tell. Hey, that's the new one. So I'm interested and I want to check it out. But I don't know if you guys have hands on or anything.
Tia, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I haven't seen the 13 lineup in person yet, but I mean from what I've heard from a lot of other people, it's really nice, and I think that I really think that it's worth it if you have a thing to upgrade. If you have, let's say, the iPhone 8, or maybe even older than that, then I'd upgrade to the 13. If you have something after, like, let's say the 10 or 11, then I wouldn't. But I do think it's a great phone if you want to get it. I personally would go for the Pro models, either Pro or Pro Max, but that's just me.
I like the 13 Pro Max. If I hadn't got the 12 Pro Max, I probably would have gone with the 13. But I will not lie to you. I do think it's a good phone. I don't see anything wrong with it. Just kind of wish I hadn't picked up the 12 Pro Max. But it's okay. I'll get it when my time comes to update. I do like the ProMotion. I think the ProMotion is absolutely, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you actually go hands on?
Yes, I did. It's really like the iPad Pro, and I love it. I really love it.
Yeah, I'm still unsure if I'll notice it, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. I think we're gonna end off here, because it's kind of getting a little late for me, and I still have some stuff to do.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for coming on and talking your thoughts about all the subjects that we've discussed today.
Yeah. Apologies for coming late. I'm so sorry for coming late.
It's all good.
No, bro, no. Hey, listen, you got to do what you got to do. We'll definitely plan another stream where we can come on time. But
what's up, Silva? Sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Yo,
I know,
what's
up? I'm so sorry, man. I know it's your show. I'm so obnoxious.
Oh no, heck no, man. Heck no, it's fine. But thank you guys for coming on. Hope you guys enjoyed the live stream, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Have a great night, guys.
All right.
Whoops, I clicked it by accident.
He's not.
I was just saying peace.
Yeah, just...
that was my bad.
Peace out, big man. It's good to see
you guys.
Thank you.